everyone, this is Naomi. I'm an ultimate player who loves to take off for the game, and today I'm going to attempt to explain the mechanic track scenario to you in a span of just a few minutes. This guide is mainly aimed towards casual, so if you want to learn more about the game, I have the detailed doc in the description below. Firstly, just like UI Finale, you click on a train 4 times to level it up. On turns that you are not racing, you are going to change your support card bonds and click your training facility to level it up. You should get your support card bonds to orange by the first summer so you can get rainbows during the time. You should also play with the assumption that you are not always going to get BBQ from the shop, as it's completely random. Rival races. If you win against a rival, you can get +5 to 2 random stats or a skill hint from 2 random pools. So one of the pools is based on the track distance. For example, if you run a medium track, you can get a random skill from the pool, such as Killer Tunes or Oh I've Got. The other skill pool will be based on the race strategy you use, so if you ran Late Surger for example, you could get Late Surger Corners or Outer Swell. If you ran Encloser, you can get Encloser Straightaways or Straightaway Split. And this is why we usually race G3 that has a rival or a G2. Shop items. I have a list of shop items here. You can pause to read it. I'm not going to go through all of them one by one. But one thing I want to say is you should keep at least 3 gold hammers for the end of the game, and you shouldn't use them on the training screen because that counts as 1 turn. So if you use it during the time when you reach the screen, your hammer has already been consumed in the last turn. So you should only use your hammers when you see the screen with the TS Climax Race button. Common deck setups. You should have at least 50 race bonus. More is better, of course, because you have to race a lot in this scenario. One type of the deck is using 2 speed, 2 wit plus 2 flex. Technically, you should use power, stamina cards, or SSR recall to fill the flex slot, but if you don't have the most optimal choices, then that's fine because well, it's not optimal, it is still playable. The other choice is to play the Guts with deck, but it is significantly harder to play because you need to get your 3 to 4 Guts Rainbow stacks, or you cannot reach Starlight at all. Race rotations. So for the mechanic track scenario, a lot of the early G3 races are MAO, so if you don't have MAO aptitude, you cannot do those races, so please take note of that. I personally recommend to go for MAO A. If you can, you could try MAO B on a horse with a strong unique, but again, it's still pretty hard. So the G1 race rotations are... I don't fix G2, G3 races because I choose I want to go. I'll explain this later. But basically, you need to do G1 race rotations to get your epithets because they give you lots and lots of stats. That doesn't mean you should ignore any other G1 they can do, they still give you lots of stats. But of course, the ones higher than the rate here are the ones that you have to win in order to get your epithet. For the triple tiara route, these 3 are highlighted in green, because it depends on whether your Uma has the aptitude to run long races. If you can run long races, just that you are not aiming to get a lot of stamina, you can still attempt to do the Semi-Autumn Triple Crown because the Arima Cannon is only 2500 meters. Decision making. So mechanic track is a plan for the future scenario. An important question you have to ask yourself every single turn is, if I'm doing this turn, what will I do the next few turns? So, for example, like if I train right now, and then maybe I have to race because I need to buy items at the shop, but can I race the next turn? Is it a turn with only OP races? If I race now, can I train the next turn? Do I have enough stamina? You need to consider stuff like that. And of course, in the junior year, especially, and the early classic year, there are going to be days that you have only OP races. So you need to plan around that and decide when are you going to do your races so you can buy items from the shop. Of course, if the training is really good, then you should probably chase the support card once instead. It's a case-by-case situation. These are also some little notes from my detailed guide. You can pause and read if you want. Everything is in my detailed guide in the description below. So for when to use your training items, the general rule is if you see a 2 to 3 rainbow, you just all in on your items. You use both your ankle weight and your megaphone. Sometimes you can try to use it even on a single rainbow if you have a lot of stacks, or even without stacks. But this is something that only experienced players can probably tell whether it's a good decision. So I clearly recommend you to not go all in on your items until you see a good enough rainbow. Also for the megaphone, it depends on how many turns you're going to train. So for example, like, oh, I'm going to only train for 2 turns, then maybe use the 60% megaphone. And or maybe like, oh, I'm training all 3 turns, or like I'm doing a I'm going to train and then I'm going to raise 1 turn and then I'm going to train again, then maybe you can use the 3-turn megaphone because you can still utilize all of the turns. You should also probably consider using energy drinks or charm to prevent your training failure, unless the failure percent is very low. You generally don't want to lose on these trainings because you are all inning on your items. You are going to lose this big fat number if you fail. And here is some extra information about fixed events that happen during the run. So you can plan around, oh, like I'm gonna get a mood up here, I'm gonna get energy recovery here. So like you know when you can tank certain things. And that's all for the guide. It's pretty short, really. Of course, all details again in the detailed doc below. Just one final thing, I want to do a little advertisement. I'm currently co-hosting a tournament with Jake called the Kanjima Kinen, where you have to use only the God stack to play in this tournament. And it's going to be based on the Satsuki Shell racetrack. If you are interested, please check the form link. I will put it in the description below. I'm also going to offer free coaching for any participant who joins this tournament. So if you want to get any free coaching, this is going to be your chance. And that is all for now. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time.